Today I am going to show you a Firebase dynamic link alternative. Now this will be a little bit different than a dynamic link from Firebase, but it still will work most of the cases. Let me just tell you that this is actually not a universal link, but a deep link. That's why the title of this video. So this is a Firebase dynamic link alternative slash Firebase dynamic link slash deep link alternative. So what is the difference between dynamic links and deep links? Well, dynamic links are actually universal links. Deep links are accessible inside your application if the app is on the user's device. Universal links will route to some web page if the app is not already installed. So this is going to be a deep link tutorial, which means that the app already needs to be installed on the user's device, and then you could just go and navigate to your application with that link, and inside that application do whatever you'd like with that information that links provide, let's say navigating to another view, or maybe just having an information like a referrer link or something like that, and save it. Do whatever you like with that link information. Now, as you can see, Firebase dynamic links is deprecated and should not be adopted. It will shut down on August 25th on 2025. So with that in mind, we are going to build our own dynamic link kind of library today. It will be so amazing, and we are going to test it out. If you like this kind of tutorials and if you enjoy my teaching style, go ahead and check out rebeloper.com/mentoring, where you can meet me on a one-on-one Zoom call. I can teach you SwiftUI, I can debug your iOS projects. Let me know if you need anything at rebeloper.com/mentoring. Yes, escape tutorial help. Now, what I have done here is just started off with a brand new Xcode project. Nothing added, it's just a brand new Xcode project. Now, we are going to create some models so we can navigate through all of the link creation and reading easily, and then we are going to link it all together. So first of all, we need to create a deep link type, and while I'm building this out, I'm going to explain everything to you. So we are going to call this deep link type. There we go. And it will be a struct called a deep link type. And it will have two properties. One is the scheme, and that is of type string, and then the other is an action, and that is also of type string. So what is this scheme and action? Well, the scheme is basically letting the system know that this needs to be opened in your particular app. This has to be set up. So let's just do that. Let's select our project, and then our target, and then just select your info, I believe, yes, info, URL types, and click on the plus button right over here. For your identifier, just add in your bundle identifier. Let's go back over there. And for the URL scheme, this has to be unique. If there are, if you have a scheme that is similar to other app schemes, then the system will not open your app. So this has to be kind of unique. It's like, I don't know, WhatsApp has this, but let me just have like deep link over there. And also all caps, like capitals and all of that stuff is also really important. So deep links, all small letters, and the role editor, just leave it as is. This is just fine. So this will be a deep link. We are going to set it up. Now we are just creating our link type. So it will be deep link : / and then we are going to add an action to it. So we need an action, so we know that, okay, we need to take care. This is basically on the link type, the host. This action, I'm just going to call it open. We are going to get there soon, but that is basically the action of the host inside the link, because we are going to use URL components. So scheme and action. Scheme is going to be set up, and action also, you should use the same one. And maybe you are going to have multiple actions. You can query against that. You will see in just a second. Okay. And then we are going to append some values, some information to that link, like a name and the value. These are query items in terms of URLs, but because we are going to build out these deep links, we are going to create a new model for that. Let's have a Swift file, and that will be a deep link item. Okay, deep link item, again a struct of deep link item, and this will be let name the string, kind of the key, and then let value of type string. And this could be optional because we might have erroneous values, we might not have values at all, so this has to be optional. Okay, and now we are going to take the deep link type and the deep link item and construct it into a final struct that will be the deep link. So struct next deep link. Oh, it has to be with a capital D. Let me just arrange that. And then this will be a struct of deep link. And then we're going to have a type. That will be a deep link type, and then an array of items, and then deep link. And let's create our initializer right over here. So init, well, it's not auto-completing. Well, Xcode is failing on me right now, but I can just type it out. So let's create a type of type deep link type, and then items, an array of a deep link item, and let's set this value to be an empty string. That's why an empty array. That's why I just chose the initializer, and self dot type equals type, and self dot items equals items. Okay, so that's our initializer. Let's see, deep link item. There we go. That's why it did not create the custom the initializer, because this has to be a deep link item array. Okay, so now that we got this deep link, I want to have a function that is going to create a string URL out of all of these information, the deep link type, deep link item. So let's create it on the model itself. Let's create a func called URL. I'm going to need a string, so not an actual URL. So we're going to use the URL as absolute string. We are going to return a string right over here. Let's just return an empty string for now, so we don't have any issues, any warnings right over there. Okay, so we are going to create URL components. So var components, and that is of type URL components. So, that URL should be a valid one, and we don't have any typos. We are going to use the URL components. So we're going to set up the scheme, and that is from the type dot scheme. Next up comes the host, and that is the type dot action. I found the action a little bit more worthy. It's just the action that you want to perform on the from the deep link. Host is kind of, URL-ish. Okay, that's the host. And then we want to have the queries. Well, first of all, you need to initialize these queries. So components dot query items equals empty array. This is really important, otherwise it would be nil and then we can't append it to it. And then we're just going to go through the items for each. We are going to have the item, and we are just going to say components dot query items dot append new element. As you can see, it automatically added the question mark, so it's an optional if not set up, but we did set it up right over here on this line. We are going to create a URL query item, so URL query item with the name and the value, and the names comes from the item dot name, and the value is from the item dot value. Okay, and as you can see, this is also it requires an optional string, which the item's value is. And then after we populated the items, well, the components, query items, we are just going to return the components URL. You see, this is an optional URL, but it has an absolute string. It added the question mark. This says it's optional, but we want to have an actual string return. Therefore, we are going to give a default value of empty string. Okay, so you will see how we are going to create a deep link model like this and then grab its URL string in just a second. So finally, we want to have some sort of error handling. Therefore, we are going to create these deep link errors. Again, a new file, next, deep link error. Okay, let's create a struct of a deep link error, which will just have a message. Let message of type string. Okay, this is the deep link error, but we need to have it as a localized error extension. So let's have an extension on the deep link error of type localized error. There we go. And the localized error needs the error description. At least we can add some more, but this is basically the default one. We are going to simply return the message that we provide on the deep link error. You can have other properties for the localized error. This is just the minimum requirement. Okay, so now that we create these kind of deep links error and we're going to send it away, maybe through, I don't know, email or whatever, whenever the user clicks on it, it's just going to come into the app, and then we need to handle that string. We want to actually grab those values for the names. And for that, it's just going to come in as a URL. We are going to create an extension on the URL, URL plus maybe, and let's just have an extension on URL. Great. And let's have a function called function handle deep link. And we are going to need its type. So, the scheme that we have set up, therefore, that is inside the type. So we are going to need the deep link type. And then we are just going to completion. We are going to have an array of those deep link items so we can use them easily. I'm going to have a result type right over here. Just a second. Get the completion result of an array of deep link items and an error for the result type. Okay. So yeah, as you can see, and then we can just use it easily. So first of all, we want to make sure that we have the scheme. So we are going to say guard let scheme. Basically, we are reverse engineering that URL. Scheme equals, well, not equals, but make sure that it's a double. Else, we are going to return, but before we do that, we are going to say completion dot failure, and we are going to create a deep link error with a message of deep link error, and then invalid scheme, and let's just add also the scheme in there. So scheme, there we go. Oh, not guardlet, guard scheme. Yeah, this scheme on the URL. Sorry, it's not let, just scheme. And then we can just access the scheme. And if there is none, then we are going to say not available. There we go. If I could just type it out correctly. Oh my goodness. Not available. There we go. So if there is a scheme, there will be a scheme. well, if this is the same scheme. Uh, if we don't have any scheme, so the scheme is different, so it's not deep link in our case, then we're just going to simply complete with that failure and a return. So this makes sure that you're not opening up other URL schemes, which you are not going to do, but it's a safe to do so. So next we want to make sure that this is actually a valid URL. So guard let components. Yeah, we want to make sure that the components exist. URL components from URL and reserving against based URL true. So the URL is self basically, and let's set this to true. Else, again, we are going to return, but before that, we are again going to complete with an error. And this time, the message will be the invalid URL. Let me just remove this part, invalid URL. Okay, so I don't have to type that out. Now we want to make sure that we have a host, and the host is basically our own host, which is, from the deep link type that we provided. So again, a guardlet. As you can tell, I really like guardlets. Let host. It makes the readability of the code really nice. Equals components, not completion, equals components.host. And if this host is equals to the type dot host, come on, action, sorry, not host, action, else we are going to again return, and let's complete with error message, and the error message will be invalid action, and let's just have the action also added right over there. So let's just have the host, and then otherwise not available. There we go. This host is not the one that we are looking for. So you might have the scheme right, but maybe you have an invalid action / host that you actually don't support. Okay, and finally, we want to make sure that we have query items. So again, guard let query items equals components query items else. Again, we are going to return. Before that, we are going to have of no query items. Okay, let me just have error, no query items. Okay, so finally we got to the place where we actually know that there are some items like names and values. So we are just going to go through them. But maybe there will be, invalid items or whatever. We want to fetch them. And we are going to store them in an items array. That's just deep link item array, and by default it's an empty one. Okay, so now we're just going to go through the query items inside the for each. So for each, we are going to have a query item in, and then we are just going to simply append items dot append a new element. It's a deep link item. Let's just go with the init. Name comes from the query item dot name, and the value, you guessed it, query item dot value. Okay, and once we got that, we are just going to finally complete with success value of the items. We just appended all of our deep link items. And that is going to complete with this deep link item array, if there is, of course, any. Now, this is really nice, but as you can see, this is a completion type. And usually I recommend not using completions because there's, async await. Let's just create an asynchronous throwing function out of this first deep link one. So what I'm going to do is just copy out the whole function name and paste it again, and let's refactor it a little bit. So of course, we are not going to need the result type, but we are going to return an array of deep link items. So let's paste that in. Also, we are not going to have an error. So therefore, this will throw. So we just add throws. And because we are not having a completion, let me just remove that part. This is going to await. So this will be an asynchronous throwing function. So that's kind of how we are rebranding it. Now we want to grab the original function with a completion and massage it into this asynchronous function. We are going to go use the with checked throwing continuation for that. Try await, because it's an asynchronous throwing function. And then with checked throwing continuation. And right over here, we are going to have a continuation. There we go. It's kind of a reversed completion handler. We are going to say handle deep link type with the completion, the type, we're just going to pass it along. And for the completion, as you can see, we're going to get a result. And we just say continuation.resume, not with throwing or returning, because we already have a result type. So we are just going to use the one with the resume with result. And that's it. Now we have an asynchronous throwing function out of a completion type of function. Really cool. Okay, so we have all of the pieces in place. Now it's time to actually build out the UI so we can test all of this. Let me just go to the content view and let's set up some state variables of what we actually want to present right over here. This time I'm just going to pull up the canvas so we can see a little bit more. Okay, let me just move this maybe over here. Okay, so we are going to have a deep link, then a user UID and the actual referrer link. Okay, so yeah, let's just create state variables for those. State private var deep link, and that will be a string, but optional because we are going to create that link. Hit Command D twice on that line, and let's rename this user UID. Maybe that's what we want to share, and also a referral link. So we are going to share a referral link for the user UID. So yeah, basically whatever you like. It's up to you how you are going to create your deep link. So now let me just remove the image maybe and just say hello deep link. Okay, so we are going to add some text if the string values are available. So if let deep link, then we're going to have a text of, I don't know, maybe a deep link and a colon, and just add the deep link right over there. Okay, let's do the same for the user UID and the referrer link real quickly. Let's have user UID and pasting it in there, and there, and then copy this out once more and then paste it in there, and referrer link. There we go. Okay. Oh, we had a new subscriber. Thank you very much. Now we want to actually have a button created for where we are creating the actual deep link. And then, of course, when we are going to get it, it's another step forward. So let's have a button. Title and action will be just fine. And create. Okay. Now for the action, we are going to create our deep link right over here. So let's do that. First of all, we need a type. We have the type and the items. Let's have a deep link type with the scheme and action. The scheme will be deep link. Remember, this has to be exactly the same what you have set up under the URL types right over here, deep link, really nice. Well, let's just go deep link 2 because I already have one on my simulator on the one that I have built all of this up. So this would be deep link 2. Now the action, let's just go for open. That's fine. You will see how the link will be created right over there. Okay, let type, and then we are going to create the items. Let items equals, we are going to create two deep link items. Deep link item with the name of user UID. I'm just going to copy out so I don't. And the user UID 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's fine. And let's duplicate this line again and go for the referrer link, and then A, B, C, D, E, whatever. Okay. So now we have all of the items. We want to combine the type and the items into a deep link. So let deep link equals deep link with the type, and the items. Okay, and now I just want to create that deep link. Yeah, it's basically I'm going to set it up on the pasteboard. We want to grab its URL, so let URL equals deep link dot URL. Remember the function that we have created on the deep link, and then we will say self dot deep link equals that URL. It's expecting a string, so we are going to give it. And also I'm going to have pasted into UI pasteboard dot general dot string equals that URL, because I'm just going to go into another application and paste it in there and click on it. It should open up our own application. Okay. So this is how we are going to create a button. How about opening? When we are opening the app, well, we need to handle that. That is going to be upon on open URL. It's just going to have a URL, and I don't really like this kind of auto completion from Xcode, but there we go. We have our URL, and then we are going to handle the incoming URL. Well, this will be a task. And also we are going to throw right over here. So we are going to have a do catch statement to catch the errors. Let's just print out the errors, localized description for now. Otherwise, you should definitely handle these errors appropriately, show them inside an alert. Go ahead and check out the error alert handling video on my YouTube channel. It's one of the latest one. Go ahead and check them out. It's really, really helpful. So now that we have our URL, we actually want to handle it. Remember this function that we have, this handle deep link of type? Well, we are going to use this one. We are going to need a deep link type. So I'm just simply going to copy out what I have already set right over here. So that is our type. And then we are going to grab the items. So let items equals, it's a throwing asynchronous function. So try await, well, the URL dot, and now we should have a handle deep link with a type. We're just going to provide it, and we are just going to have right over here an array of items. Now it's just simply grabbing them. So let's just go through them. Items for each. We are going to have an item right over there, and now we are just going to check for the names. So let's just switch through the items dot name case. This is let's just see what was the first one, user UID, case user UID. Then we are going to say user UID equals the item's value. So item dot value. Okay, and the case the referrer link, I just want to copy and paste this so I don't have any typos. Case referrer link, we are going to say referrer link equals item dot value. And also we do need to have a default. We're just simply going to return. We're not going to do anything over here. Okay. So that's that. We really made sure that everything is in place. Hope you understood it. Now let's check it out. So I'm just going to open this up on the simulator, and I have this iPhone 15, so let's just select iPhone 15. Let's build and run. And we are going to first create. Let me just see right over here. We are going to click on create. This is our deep link. As you can see, a deep link to / open. That's our action, question mark, user ID equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the value. And the other acquire item referrer link equals ABCDE. Okay, so this should have added it to the pasteboard. So let me just go into the reminders and let's have a new reminder and paste it in there. There we go. Okay, and now I can actually click on it. So let's do that. And remember, we did not see any of the user UIDs and referrer link inside our application. Now, once we click on it, we should see that. So, and indeed, we do have our user UID and the referrer link ABCD. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABCD. It's really straightforward and really nice. Now, if you do like this teaching style, go ahead and also check out rebeloper.com/mentoring, where I can help you with Swift UI or debug your code or iOS in general. I will see you there.